Hi, thanks for taking the time to watch this video with me. My name is Jerry Baker. I am the owner of a company called Fit for Life International LLC, and I specialize in doing nutrition and wellness consulting and coaching. So thanks for joining me on this. This is the last, of a series of 6 videos on some of the key elements to achieve greater wellness in your life. Now, I'll show a list a little bit later of some of the things that we've talked about, but I wanted to start today just with talking about B vitamins. I'll start with a story. If you've watched any of the other videos, you know that I kind of enjoy the stories. And this story is about Ronald. Ronald was a lawyer in New York City, and he was out on a date at a fancy restaurant in New York with a coworker. And they were, it was an upscale restaurant. They dined on a delicious dinner of prime rib and wild spring mushrooms. And sometime after dinner, they both became extremely nauseated and then got violently ill with vomiting and diarrhea. They both went to the ER, of course, and the doctor quizzed them about what they'd eaten. And when they mentioned the mushrooms, he called Dr. Berkson at CDC. And Dr. Berkson recommended that they call the restaurant and find out where the mushrooms had come from. Well, they did that, and they were informed that they were a hand-picked variety imported especially from Asia. And it seemed clear to Dr. Berkson that that there must have been some poisonous variety of mushrooms mixed in with the rest, and he recommended an intravenous infusion of vitamin B6. Tom and his date received the infusion. They survived the poisoning, but it's not clear they survived the first date. Not sure that if I were in that situation, I'm not sure I'd want to go out on another date and just be reminded of what happened on the first one. But how did a simple B complex vitamin save their lives? Well, mushroom poisoning is known to deplete the storehouse of vitamin B6, which is an essential nutrient in the body. And so they were replacing that nutrient basically cured them, or and helped them to recover very quickly. Now, there are actually 8 B vitamins together, and they play an important role in keeping our bodies healthy, and are known to greatly affect our moods, and are known as a happy vitamin. Vitamin B's are also a nutrient that are necessary in the normal functioning of the body, but they're strangely not produced by the body. So we do have to receive them from food or from nutritional supplements. Now, each B complex vitamin has a fundamentally different function and a very distinct chemical structure from the others. So you can't just take one B vitamin with one molecular structure and expect that to benefit you at all. Your body needs all of them and needs them in the proper ratio, proper amounts and balance to stay healthy. So again, we'll talk about this later, but a B complex vitamin really has to be in the same, all the sub-elements of the B vitamin have to be in the right balance to be effective. So there are these essential nutrients help with a lot of things. One is they help to digest the food and to burn the food and produce fuel, basically convert our the food into fuel. They help to form red blood cells, obviously essential. They reduce the risk of heart disease, and they help us to stay energized throughout the day. So I take my B vitamin complex in the morning and at noontime, but not at night. I've done that before, and my mind is ready to go to sleep, but my body is wanting to keep going, and it makes it very difficult to sleep. So therefore, a daily supply is an absolute necessity for wellness. over the last century, food manufacturers have done a lot to make foods more palatable and clean looking. But in the process, they've eliminated a lot of the B complex. And a lot of the foods are just totally devoid of B complex. And manufacturers then will add B vitamin to the foods, and you may see that on the packaging. But oftentimes what they add to the products is not perfect balance of B vitamins, of all the B vitamins. And so they are they're not in perfect balance, and so they don't function as nature intended. So what about you? Are you getting enough B vitamins? Well, there's an estimated 16% of the population suffer from a deficiency of vitamin B. Dr. Berkson recommends in his book, he wrote a book called User's Guide to the B Complex Vitamins, that people take up to 3 times the amount of the recommended daily allowance, or RDA. Again, that may be something you see on the packaging. That's a recommended daily allowance. Recommended, but the interesting thing about the RDAs is they were developed about 60 years ago, and they were developed with a view towards preventing flagrant disease. Well, I think you'd probably agree that we probably want to do more than avoid flagrant disease. We want to ensure that we are getting enough to get well and to stay well. And so bottom line is he recommends taking an amount that's at least 3 times the recommended daily allowance. So how do B vitamins protect you? Well, one example has to do with an amino acid called homocysteine. We're not going to get real scientific geeky here, but it's produced when the body breaks down protein. An increased level of homocysteine has been known to damage blood vessels as well as the heart, and often leads to heart disease and strokes. So we want to use B vitamins, take B vitamins to restore homocysteine to its original amino acid, which I won't try to pronounce, but thereby removing the risk of damaging blood vessels and the heart. So how important are B vitamins? Well, many B vitamins will not function properly. Well, B vitamins in general will not function properly without the presence of others. Like I say, they have to be in the same. They have to be in the balance that God created them to be in nature. And all vitamin supplements should be from natural sources, B vitamins included. So just to be sure that you're getting everything that God and nature intended in terms of those vitamins. So a deficiency of a B vitamin may give rise to some symptoms that your doctor may diagnose as one of a dozen or so different diseases. I'm going to pull up a whiteboard here. This is always an interesting experience. You should see my outtakes. So let's pull up the whiteboard and look at what are some of the benefits of B vitamins. So here are some of the things with which B vitamins will help. One is in wound healing, canker sores, acne, anxiety, athletic performance, ADD, hives, indigestion, heartburn, and low stomach acidity, osteoporosis, premenstrual syndrome, and vitiligo. For those of you not familiar with that, it's a skin disease. I have a friend he's a African American, but he has, particularly in his hands and fingers, they are white, and so it affects the skin. And I'm not sure of the methodology of that, but you may have seen this before. But B vitamins will help with vitiligo. Was that what I just said? So that's some pretty impressive list, I think. So that's all I wanted to say about B vitamins at this time. Now I just want to go through a quick summary. It won't be long. Just talking about what we've talked about in previous videos. There are certain key substances we need in our diets, and we can get it sometimes in our diets, and I talked about that in the videos, but a lot of times through dietary supplements. So let's look at real quick what those elements are. Again, going to the whiteboard. And that is the wrong whiteboard. So let me go back and open the correct one. As I said, whiteboards just always seem to be an interesting experience. And here we go. So these are the essential substances that are needed either through your diet or through nutritional supplementation. So proteins, amino acids, probiotics, antioxidants, polyphenols, omega fatty acids, vitamin C, and then vitamin B, which of course we talked about just now. So again, there are certainly many, many more, but these are, I think, some of the top and key nutrients that are needed for greater wellness. So just real quick, I'll tell a quick story that I told, I think, in my first or second video of Dr. Strang. Dr. Strang was a physician of 25 years or so, and it was typical. He was a typical physician. He was critical and dismissive of dietary supplements. Let's say it's not unusual for a doctor to feel that way, feel that they're a waste of time, a waste of money. And but he became through an experience with his wife, he became a huge proponent of dietary supplements. His wife became, excuse me, very ill, and he was not able to help her. She had fibromyalgia, but a friend of hers started bringing her dietary supplements and protein shakes, and she began to get well. And he was just astounded by that. He did some of his own research, and what he found really impressed him. And that he then wrote his own book, which I won't go into here. You can see it in one of the earlier videos. But he developed a list of some of the benefits of nutritional supplementation. So let's go again to our troublesome whiteboard and pull up some of the benefits of nutritional supplementation. And here they are. I'll let you read. Well, I'll go ahead and read those, and you can look at them yourself also. But some of the benefits are an enhanced immune system, an enhanced antioxidant defense system, a decreased risk of coronary artery disease, a decreased risk of stroke, a decreased risk of cancer, a decreased risk of arthritis, macular degeneration, and cataracts, the potential for a decreased risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease, and the potential for improving the clinical course of several degenerative diseases. So I think that's a pretty impressive list, and I'm sure you would agree as well. So the next thing I want to talk about then with nutritional supplementation, and in the previous videos, I've also talked about where you can get what you need from your foods, although it's generally the foods are insufficient in supplements or in the substances we need for a variety of different reasons. So what should you look for if, say, you say, okay, Jerry, I like what you're telling me about nutritional supplements. I think I need to take some. Okay, so what do you look for? Well, I will tell you this: don't go to the grocery store and buy them off the shelf. As I talked about today, everything has to be from nature in a proper balance. And if you buy something off the shelf in the grocery store, generally they are like B vitamin. They'll have the molecular structure of a B vitamin, but that really doesn't have any impact on your body. I mean, my daughter a number of years ago encouraged me to take a multivitamin, so I went down to Target and bought the popular brand, and I really felt good that I was taking something. didn't really notice much difference until I started taking a high quality dietary supplement and realized it really makes a difference. So one thing to keep in mind, and vitamins should be enteric coated. What does that mean? Well, anything we consume by mouth goes through a rigorous and harsh digestive process. You know that we have acids in our stomach to help digest our food. And if you've ever had acid reflux, you know how harsh that can be. Well, when you subject essential compounds contained in multivitamins to this condition, most are rendered useless and ineffective. So supplement compounds should be coated in a hard, unbreakable shell called an enteric coating. That's to keep them nicely contained and dissolved in, and keep them from being dissolved in acid and help them to move into the rest of the gastrointestinal system where they are released, hopefully released in a part of the intestinal system where they're best absorbed. Because you're looking for obviously a supplement that is going to be absorbed and used by the body, usually in the small intestines. So vitamins also have to be extracted and preserved in live forms as found in nature. Cells don't pair well with synthetic substances. They require natural substances to survive. So you really want natural substances from nature. When you consume something that's not found in nature, and the body becomes combative or produces adverse effects to the substance. Not only should all nutrient factors be natural, but the processing should maintain its value, its natural value as well. So vitamins again should be broad spectrum. They are responsive. But they need to be responsive to the unique needs of each organ and cell. There's no cookie cutter vitamin that sufficiently or supposedly will respond to all the unique needs of each vital cell or organ in your body. Cells are created to be unequal, and they're smart and they're unique, and they have different nutritional requirements depending on what kind of cell they are: brain cells, skin cells, kidney cells, and so on. And that's what's called nutritional design. So when the full spectrum of the nutritional design is met, you can say that it is a nutritional supplementation regime or product that has truly fulfilled your needs. The final product, however, not just the raw materials, has to be scientifically tested and approved. You may put together a product with natural sources, but does it actually do what it is intended to do? So actual testing of the finished product is the most crucial part of the clinical testing, because it's where the components actually work together as a whole. And so that's what you're looking at to evaluate that, if they're working together as a whole in the multivitamin or the dietary supplement. This is also the most expensive part. And a company has to go through established protocols for that. And then they have to have studies published in peer-reviewed journals, or they should have studies published in peer-reviewed journals to demonstrate their validity. So they're not just saying, hey, we tested it and it's valid. You need other scientists to look at that and make sure that their testing was valid, and they included everything that needs to be included. Generally, it's something that's called placebo-controlled double-blind studies. I won't go to what all that is. It's not that complicated, but don't have that much time. So if you find a company that does that, you're going to get a dietary supplement that is most likely effective and do what it says it will do. Now, most manufacturers choose not to go through all those steps. They don't conduct independent testing, but instead they use their own chemists and pharmacists and so on. And then they borrow from claims from previously reported studies done by others. Well, why don't they go through all that? Well, number one, it's very expensive. Bottom line is, yeah, you can buy something off the grocery store shelf and it's probably pretty inexpensive. If you find a product that is effective and meets all those requirements, it's going to be more expensive. It's the old adage, you get what you pays for. And also, they're not regulated by the FDA. Dietary supplements are not regulated by the FDA. So if you can find a company that treats it like a substance that's regulated by the FDA, then you found a good product. So consequently, ingredients of most vitamins and supplements are produced with little or no supervision, and there's no guarantee about the purity or quality of the raw ingredients. So you need to be careful. In summary, everyone knows about the health benefits of a good exercise program and a healthy diet, but few, however, and hopefully now you know, that you have knowledge now of the health benefits of taking high quality nutritional supplements. So by combining a healthy diet, modest exercise program, feeding your cells with the best nutrition possible, you are giving yourself the absolute best chance to protect your health or to regain it after it's lost. It's your best opportunity to achieve wellness and maintain wellness now, rather than waiting until you get sick. So the conclusion, beyond the mission, it's really beyond the mission of my presentation to recommend specific products. If you're going to spend your money on supplements, just remember you may have to pay a little bit more for substances that are actually going to do what they say they will do. So you want to find a company that guarantees their products. 100% money back guarantee is a good thing to look for. You're not going to find that in the grocery store. Sorry, I keep emphasizing that point. But if you're going to spend your money on supplements, there are several companies that do manufacture good quality food supplements. And so I recommend you do your research. Talk with somebody that you know and trust in this field, and select a company that uses gold standard research that is published, as I talked about earlier, and then enjoy better health. I want to finish real quick. I'll go back to the whiteboard one more time and pull up my contact information for you if you want to take a look at that contact information and take a picture of it or write it down. There's a number of different ways that you can contact me. My cell phone, I'm open to a call at any time. You can text me if you want. Yes, please tell me who you are, because I'm getting texts all the time. And hey, would you like to have dinner? And who are you? So, oh, I am so and so, and supposedly I met somewhere. Yeah, no, identify yourself, please. You can email me at the address there, jerry@fitforlifellc.com. I also have a blog I mentioned in one of my earlier videos where I blog a lot about a lot of these things as well. So you can find that information on my blog. Facebook page, I guess everybody has a Facebook page these days. Instagram page, LinkedIn page. Those are not the full addresses, but I think if you go into those programs and search on those, you'll find that my contact information will come up there. So again, thanks so much for watching. I know this is a little bit longer than some of the others, but hopefully you found it worthwhile and will stimulate you to think about your health. So I pray for you, for God's wisdom, for you to take whatever steps you need to take to achieve and maintain greater health and wellness. So again, thanks again, and I look forward to chatting with you and hearing from you in the future. Take care.